Because they finally get a chance to write. Then it start feeling fun. All of a sudden, everybody don't remember nothing.
That's one of Diddy's MO. One of his former record executives met with him. And I guess she was trying to pray with him or whatever. But he tried to give him a pill.
Say, man, I'm here because Clive Davis called me, and him and Puffy is real tight, and lovers. So I thought he was talking about like they got love for each other. I said, well, why you keep saying that? I said, look, you saying they lovers like he said, I don't want to say that, but that's what it means, right? I said, okay.
With the investigations going on about Sean P. Diddy Combs, 50 Cent hasn't been holding back about all the questionable stuff Diddy's been tied to. Rumor has it that with all this coming out, folks close to Diddy are starting to sweat, worried they might get dragged into the mess too. One of those folks is Clive Davis. And according to 50 Cent, everything shady is about to come out in the open for Diddy and his crew. So what exactly did he spill? 50 Cent has always been vocal about Diddy's shady ways. In fact, there's a resurfaced comments about Diddy that came straight from 50 Cent himself, although it's more of a bizarre story. During an old interview, presumably a Drink Champs appearance, he told the alleged story of how Diddy once told him that he wanted to take him shopping.
He told me to take me shopping. I looked at him like, what'd you just say? Let me move, man, before I do something. You're gonna make me mess up the wedding.
That's one of Diddy's MO.
Fifth probably felt like Diddy was trying to get him into his shady, intimate encounters with men. What's more, last year, a spokesperson for 50 Cent told TMZ that the 48-year-old rapper's production company, G-Unit Films and Television, is working on a documentary about the accusations against Combs. They said the money made from the documentary will go to help victims of SA&R. At this point, Diddy's dirty laundry has been aired for the world to see, and he is currently the villain in everybody's story. However, what many people fail to understand is that Diddy wasn't always like this. Not even close. Sure, he had a few run-ins with the law, but nothing too serious. Well, until he joined the industry and made connections with Hollywood A-lister Clive Davis. But we'll get into that much later. Diddy before the industry. Sean John Combs, famously known as Puff Daddy or P. Diddy, emerged from the vibrant streets of Harlem, New York City on November 4th, 1969. His roots were firmly planted in the cultural tapestry of the city, but his story stretches far beyond its boundaries. Raised in Mount Vernon, a suburb pulsating with its own rhythm, Sean's upbringing was a blend of urban grit and suburban stability. His mother, Janice Combs, was a woman of grace and resilience, balancing her roles as a model and a teacher's assistant. She imparted in Sean the values of hard work and determination. Meanwhile, his father, Melvin Earl Combs, served his country in the U.S. Air Force, but also had connections to the shadowy underworld, associating with figures like the infamous dealer Frank Lucas. Tragically, Melvin's life was cut short when Sean was just a toddler, the victim of a fatal shooting on Central Park West when he was only 2 years old. Growing up, Sean found solace and structure in the Catholic faith, serving as an altar boy and attending Mount St. Michael Academy, an all-boys Catholic school. It was there that he honed his athletic skills on the football field, helping his team secure a division title in 1986. Yet, amidst the discipline of academia and sports, Sean was also known for his fiery temperament, earning the childhood moniker Puff, due to his tendency to huff and puff when angered. The trajectory of Sean's life took a turn when he entered Howard University as a business major. Though his academic pursuits held promise, his entrepreneurial spirit yearned for more. After just 2 years, he made the bold decision to leave college behind, opting instead to chase his dreams in the tumultuous world of music and entertainment. In 1990, Sean embarked on a pivotal journey, securing an internship at Uptown Records in New York City. Under the mentorship of label founder Andre Harrell, Sean immersed himself in the music industry, quickly proving his worth as a talent scout and developer. It was during this time that he played a pivotal role in the rise of influential artists such as Jodeci and Mary J. Blige. Beyond his professional endeavors, Sean cultivated a reputation for hosting legendary parties that became the stuff of urban legend. These gatherings, characterized by their electric energy and star-studded guest lists, solidified Sean's status as a cultural tastemaker. Even Usher, who shared a roof with Sean during his formative years in New York City, attested to the wild allure of his lifestyle. In 1991, tragedy struck during one of Sean's charitable efforts. An AIDS fundraiser organized by Sean and rapper Heavy D at City College of New York spiraled into chaos, resulting in a stampede that claimed the lives of 9 individuals. The incident cast a shadow over Sean's burgeoning career, and ultimately, he lost his job at Uptown Records. Diddy meeting Clive Davis. We all know that Diddy ended up being one of the most successful record producers and label owners in the music industry. His company Bad Boy Records has housed big names like the notorious Big and Usher. But how did a 23-year-old up-and-coming artist make his way to the top of the industry in such little time? The secret may lie in his meeting with Clive Davis. Diddy met Clive when he was just a 23-year-old boy, hoping to make it in the very competitive and ruthless industry. But he managed to impress the legend Clive with his ideas for hip-hop. Clive talks about his first meeting with Diddy. He was looking for an artist who could really speak to the common people and found exactly what he was looking for in Diddy. Puffy was 23 years old, and I knew the artists that I had. Aretha, Dion, Whitney was one kind of music, Davis said. LaFace ushered in blue-collared R&B at its height. But sensing the hip-hop revolution, both L.A., Reed, and I agreed that we could use someone really attuned to the street. You gotta know what you can do for yourself, and you gotta know when you need to look to other people. At that time, Diddy worked under Andre Hall at Uptown Records, but things turned out quickly for him now that he had met Clive Davis. He managed to impress Clive with his words, as Clive recalls, "When I met with Puffy, he articulated that hip-hop should be part of the top 40 mainstream and that the business would change in the future. And I said, what have you got to illustrate that point? And he played me Craig Mack's Flava in your ear, and he played me the then unknown artist that he felt and believed so strongly. He played me 4 or 5 cuts from Notorious Big. This was enough to sell his vision to Clive, as he immediately told Diddy that had proved his point. I said, okay, you proved your point. That's when I introduced him to the weekly, what we called singles meetings. I introduced him to an executive there as someone who would help lead us to the street and share in the forthcoming hip-hop revolution. This seems like a very innocent interaction that shot Diddy immediately into stardom and fame, but the truth is quite different from what Clive has been portraying for years. Turns out, all this was just a cover for Clive to have relations with men, and Diddy wasn't the only one he did it to either.
There are a lot of stories, not rumors, stories going around about Clive Davis allegedly sleeping with men, that he was allegedly having rent boys, that a lot of the artists that didn't make it all the way to like a showcase or two.
Clive has been proven to get involved with up-and-coming artists after promising them a bright future in the music industry.
Actually signing a deal that he had activity with these people before either dropping them or never signing them in the first place, more so of using them for.
It seems like Diddy escaped the fate of being discarded after having a relationship with Clive, as Clive did help him in setting up his own record label Bad Boy Records and continued to fund it for years. Clive has been very forthcoming about his orientation, but Diddy has never spoken about it himself. You see, Clive Davis has made quite a name for himself with his music productions, but now he's being talked about more for his endeavors. After having married and divorced twice, Clive decided he needed to go on a journey of self-discovery to find out if he could be attracted to men too.
I opened up myself after the failure of my second marriage, never having had anything with a man, to see, could I be attracted to the person and not.
This soul-searching made him realize that he isn't as straight as he had imagined himself to be for 50 years of his life.
The gender. And I did find that I could be attracted to a man, while I still am very attracted.
After Clive had this realization, he decided he was at that point in his life where he wanted to be with a man.
Then in 1990, he entered into a monogamous relationship with an unnamed male doctor. That relationship ended in 2004.
Clive says he has never been ashamed of being attracted to men. I never felt shame. No, I felt puzzled. The subject of BIS orientation really needs much more discussion. It's a status that does exist. Diddy the Villain. Some of you should remember the allegations made by Jaguar Wright against Diddy. She claimed that a former lawyer who worked for Diddy had revealed to her some very disturbing information. Wright said that Diddy had a meeting with singer and New Jack City actor Christopher Williams about possibly signing a deal. The attorney in question needed to get approval for some paperwork and went to Diddy's office to speak with him. Jaguar claims the lawyer said the door wasn't locked, so she didn't think twice about just walking in. When she walked in, she saw Christopher Williams performing a little extra for Diddy. This story by Jaguar Wright, although unconfirmed, was believed by many as they don't put it past Diddy. What gives this story more validation is that Jaguar isn't the only person alleging that Diddy was into these kinds of activities. A Vine creator named Jay Versace also revealed that he had an intimate encounter with Diddy. Jay Versace alleged that Diddy invited him to his mansion when Diddy was at the peak of his career. Jay made these claims in response to a post showing women having fun on Diddy's big outdoor bed. Jay said that Diddy had him bent over over that same bed. It seems that Diddy learned these behaviors from Clive Davis, who introduced him to the industry. In any case, one person who confirmed these allegations is Suge Knight. You see, Suge Knight's prison podcast has already brought about countless shocking claims, including a recent unexpected allegation about Diddy and Clive Davis. In a March episode of Collect Call with Suge Knight, the former death row boss recalled Jimmy Iovine making a bombshell revelation during a meeting at Interscope. Apparently, he wasn't supposed to hear the explosive news, but decided to share it with him anyway. "We in the office, in the Westwood Interscope office," Knight began. "I walked in Jimmy's office. I didn't have to knock on the door. We was having a conversation, and he overheard somebody say something he probably shouldn't have heard. He said, 'I'm here because Clive Davis told me that him and Puffy's real tight. And, lovers.' So I thought he was talking like they got love for each other. I'm like, all right." He said, "Nah, they are lovers." He continued. And I'm like, "Why do you keep saying that?" I said, "Are they lovers like effing and essing?" And he said, "I don't want to say that, but that's what that means, right?" Knight's claims are unconfirmed, but this is far from the first time Diddy's been accused of having a romantic relationship with a fellow male celebrity. What's more, during an interview with The Art of Dialogue, the rapper's former bodyguard Gene Deal had a ton of tea to spill about Diddy, including insight into his time with Cassie Ventura, who filed and then shocking settled an R case against her ex-boyfriend last year. In the new chat, the security guard alleged that the 54-year-old forced his then-girlfriend to hire those male S-workers for himself. He just didn't want anyone to be able to track them back to him. Why does he think this? Addressing rumors that have plagued the Last Night crooner for years, Gene claims he learned quickly when to give Diddy his space when they were out together, such as when he stumbled across the celeb allegedly purchasing or when they would frequent an apparent gay hotspot. Gene Deal unveiled Diddy's unique networking strategies, shedding light on the rapper's purported visits to Turkish baths, which he claims were hotspots where Diddy allegedly met with gay men.
You know what they do in the Turkish baths? That's where a lot of gay men meet.
Deal suggested that this was a common practice for certain individuals in the industry. According to Deal, these Turkish bath meetings were more than just a place for relaxation. They served as a unique setting for business discussions. He claimed that individuals seeking connections with executives like Diddy were compelled to attend these baths and purportedly engage in questionable exchanges in return for career advancements.
Top in the game, in the music business. And they had said to me, yo, I had to a lot to get to this position.
He then added, "That's a lot of what these guys get into when they start having certain meetings with certain people. They meet them at the Turkish bath, and they do their meetings, and they meet their peoples in those types of situations where they're comfortable at, so they don't have to worry about their indiscretions coming out." Deal's comments suggest a hidden side of the music industry where personal and professional boundaries may blur. The Turkish bath, as described by Deal, appears to be a unique space where individuals could conduct business without fear of judgment or exposure. He further emphasized the frequency of these meetings, stating, "Twice, sometimes 3 times a week, me and the driver be outside. He'll run into the Turkish bath." And as if that is not crazy enough, Gene also claimed that Diddy once brought American rapper Zibbit to a gay bar. In the interview, Gene went on to reveal, "I know that for a fact because I was right there." He said, "Yo, Gene, watch the door that doesn't let nobody come through." I said, "I'll watch the door." And if I watch the door, he and a man ran out. And I said that ain't nobody told me that. I saw that myself. I'm telling you what I saw. In addition to this, another person who has been quite outspoken about Diddy's alleged S-orientation is none other than rapper 50 Cent. 50 revealed in an interview that Diddy once offered to take him shopping. And by shopping, the rapper alleged that Diddy meant something else. Meanwhile, Diddy has also been called out severally by none other than the queen of media herself, Wendy Williams. According to rumors by the gossip mills, Wendy Williams owns a picture that involves a man pulling another man's puffy pants down. And well, one of the men might just be Diddy. What's more, Wendy even once revealed that she was not okay with men in the hip-hop industry denying their true S-orientation. In the interview with VLAD TV, the media personality said, "I'm not down with any of that. It wouldn't be my man. Be very clear, there were lots of in the 80s too. What's worse? Hip-hop wearing skirts or hip-hop being closeted and having a plethora of kids to prove manhood, and that, and denial of something that you shouldn't have to deny. There were many situations back in the day, in my career, and it's all coming full circle now." But this isn't even the worst claim being made against Diddy. Some fans have gone as far as to some dirt on Diddy's past, thereby exposing how he allegedly took advantage of Usher when he was young. Usher broke the silence on these allegations when he recently revealed what he faced while staying with Diddy. During an interview on The Howard Stern Show, Usher shared stories from his early days in New York City, including living with Puff Daddy as a teenager and hanging out at Flavor Camp for parties and gatherings. Reportedly, Usher was guided into the world of fame and wealth by Combs, who took on the role of his mentor and had Usher live with him. Usher shared that as a teenager living with Diddy, he was naturally curious about what was happening around him. However, he found that some of the things he discovered were not appropriate for someone his age to be exposed to.
I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
That's the crazy thing. Now, that was L.A. Reid's idea, right? We're sending you over to something called Puffy Flavor Camp.
There you go.
To learn
Flavor Camp.
Yeah,
Flavor
that's
Camp.
what it was called.
Sean Diddy Combs noticed Usher when he was just 14 years old, and he quickly signed the young talent to Bad Boy Entertainment. However, with that came the new lifestyle that Diddy had been living.
Puffy's place was like just filled with and like nonstop, right?
No, not really. I mean, but hey, it was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you seeing?
I went there to see the lifestyle.
However, that lifestyle has had a lasting negative impact on Usher, as he discovered things happening around him as a young artist that he didn't understand at the time.
I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild.
Jumping ahead to the present, Usher opened up about the less glamorous side of his early career in a 2012 interview with Oprah Winfrey. He explained that when he was young, Combs introduced him to wild and crazy parties. Usher has openly discussed that as a teenager, he shouldn't have seen some of the things he did. He revealed that Diddy's lifestyle went against many rules, but it continued in Hollywood, where he and many other young artists were spoiled.
You know, with Puffy in that time, or the Tunnel. But these are places that a 13-year-old probably should not be. That's not what I was there for. I was there because I wanted a career, man. So we would fight, we would tussle. More than often, I think Puffy would say, man, you gotta chill, like you just a little bit too intense.
Usher admitted he felt pressured to do things he wasn't ready for emotionally or mentally. Looking back, he regretted some choices he made back then, but he did what he thought was best at the time, based on what he knew.
That's not what I was there for. I was there because I wanted a career, man. So we would fight, we would tussle. More than often, I think Puffy would say, man, you gotta chill, like you just a little bit too intense. And I'm telling him, look, you're gonna put me in the studio, man. You got Biggie Smalls in there, you got Craig Mack in there. You're gonna make me a priority too.
However, Usher wasn't the only one facing this alone. Amidst all the allegations and lawsuits against Diddy, even Usher spoke up. But what's worse is the resurfaced video of Justin Bieber and Diddy. Recently, an old video of him and then young Justin Bieber circulating online has caused the internet to assume the worst. Many fans were blown away by the unsettling idea that he might have been allegedly doing some really shady stuff with the young star back then. The circulating video appeared as Homeland Security raided Diddy's mansions in LA and Miami. It shows Sean Love Combs standing next to the young pop star saying,
right now he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives, like you know, where we hanging out and what we doing. We can't really disclose.
He further added,
it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me. So and we gonna go full crazy.
Puffy was even heard talking about Usher in the video. He mentions that although he's not Bieber's legal guardian, he had custody of him for 48 hours because he was signed to Usher. Diddy also claims to have had legal guardianship over Usher, who was also a teenager at the time when he worked on his first album.
I have been given custody of him. You know, he signed to Usher.
I'm signed to Usher.
I had legal guardianship of Usher when you know he did his first album. I did Usher's first album. I don't have legal guardianship of him.
Social media users immediately began to worry about what Diddy's close association with these young people at the time might imply. Many online users labeled these videos as creepy and disturbing, while others were relieved that the darker side of showbiz was finally being brought to light. Diddy also promised to gift Bieber his white Lamborghini as soon as he turned 16.
Yeah, so as soon as you turn 16, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna let you rock this every time you come to LA. Yeah, this will be yours. So every time you come to LA, it's a little dusty.
However, Bieber didn't seem to take the rapper's generous offer very seriously. Bieber told People magazine, Diddy said when I turn 16, he will give me his Lamborghini. But we all know Diddy's not going to give me his Lamborghini. He's all talk. Even Justin couldn't understand why Diddy was being so generous. He even said he would gift him a mansion when he turned 18. It turns out that Diddy was trying to lure him with expensive things that any kid would desire at Justin's age. Fast forward to today, Justin revealed that he had been regularly using and facing the most difficult time of his life. Many fans speculated that it was because Diddy exposed him to an illicit environment during his childhood.
It was a time where I was
sipping lean, I was popping pills, I was doing Molly, shrooms, everything, and it was just an escape from.
What's even more surprising is that recently, many people have recently come out and accused Diddy of allegedly SAing them. It's been a roller coaster ride for Diddy, which started on November 16th, 2023, when R&B singer Cassie, Combs' ex-girlfriend, filed what would become the first of 5 lawsuits against Combs alleging assault. 2 accusing Combs of SA were filed in New York County Court. The other 3, which accuse Combs of in addition to assault, were filed in the Southern District of New York's federal court. Cassie, who was once signed to Combs' label Bad Boy Records and whose legal name is Cassandra Ventura, described in her lawsuit in detail the S parties known as freak-offs Combs allegedly threw. According to the lawsuit, Combs would have her and his employees fly in male S workers, whom he would force Cassie to have S with, and he would give Cassie a cocktail of various including ecstasy, cocaine, ketamine, marijuana, and Cassie said she routinely required an IV of fluids the day after to recover. She also alleged that he physically AB'd her throughout the course of their 11-year relationship and that he exerted total control over her life. In 2012, Combs was allegedly so enraged by Cassie's brief relationship with Kid Cudi that during Paris Fashion Week, he told her he would blow up Cudi's car. The lawsuit claims Cudi's car then exploded in his driveway around that time, which Cudi's spokeswoman confirmed to the New York Times. In a statement, Combs' attorney accused Cassie of blackmail, citing a previous demand of $30 million, under the threat of writing a damaging book about their relationship, before filing a lawsuit riddled with baseless and outrageous lies. The lawsuit was settled the day after Cassie filed it for an undisclosed amount. Mr. Combs' decision to settle the lawsuit does not in any way undermine his flat-out denial of the claims, his lawyer said at the time. 4 more suits were filed in the ensuing months. One is from a Jane Doe who says Combs and others coerced her to fly from Detroit to New York City to hang out with him at his studio in 2003 when she was 17. There, she alleges Combs and 2 others got her inebriated to the point that she could not possibly have consented to having S with anyone, and SA'd her. One is from Rodney Jones, a music producer who worked on Combs' most recent project, The Love Album, who says Combs forced him to solicit S workers and perform S acts to the pleasure of Mr. Combs at S parties in 2022 and 2023 and threatened physical violence if he didn't comply. He also accuses Combs of having young girls at these S parties. Several lawsuits allege Combs would film these S encounters, and 2 accused him of using the video to control the people involved. Combs vehemently denies all charges. He views these lawsuits as a money grab. Because of Mr. Combs' fame and success, he is an easy target for accusers who attempt to smear him, Combs' attorney said in a statement. Let me be absolutely clear. I did not do any of the awful things being alleged. I will fight for my name, my family, and for the truth, Combs wrote on Instagram. On March 25th, the Department of Homeland Security raided Combs' homes in Los Angeles and Miami as part of an ongoing investigation. Homeland Security investigations did not comment further. Combs' attorney called the raids a gross overuse of military-level force and a witch hunt based on meritless accusations made in civil lawsuits. Christian Combs and his father have denied any wrongdoing. In April, their attorney said the most recent lawsuit was the latest in a pattern of lewd and meritless claims from a lawyer whose tactics, he noted, were criticized by a federal judge in a separate case. As Combs' star plummeted, he remained defiant. Tabloids ran photos of Combs bicycling around Miami Beach. In one, he flashes a bright smile and a peace sign. On April 5th, after the news cycle had crested and began to quiet down, he posted to Instagram the nearly 8-minute music video for his 1997 song, Victory. He spends most of the video running from police. Its caption read, "Bad boy for life." In any case, although there's no solid proof connecting Clive to the accusations made against his protege, one thing is clear. Clive had some kind of negative impact on his artists, particularly Diddy, and fans are eager for that truth to come out. Anyway, that's it for this video, folks. Bye.